Yo, what's up? It's your boy DJ7, and today I want to talk to you guys about another activist that I think is quite interesting. There's a mixed. This guy's controversial, but let's get to it right here. So let's see serepentza. So just so you know, this is actually quite an interesting story. Let's get to it. Right now, yeah, let's get to it like this. So the deal here with serepentza is he's actually the first 1,000 videos. That's it. Listen, he has other channels with lots of videos. So he has way more than 1,000. He's 1.05 mil subscribers. I'm surprised it's that small. Dang, Louis Rossman's bigger than serepentza. That's crazy. I did not even realize until right now. Okay. Let's see when his oldest videos are. Yeah, 2006, right? So he's been making videos for a damn long time, right? 13 years ago. Yeah? In China 13 years ago, okay? So he's really one of the super duper OGs. In fact, he markets himself, and I believe it to be true because as an Asian American, and Asian Americans are actually a large portion of his audience, right? Think about it. If you were growing up, right, just as I'm probably a lot like you, even though you might think I have this weird, like, background, you know what I mean? Whatever. Really, it's probably pretty much I grew up the same. I grew up watching the same shit, talk like you, have the same music, right? Yeah, I don't really know about China, but I'm interested. I want to know. So what am I gonna do? Like watch like some tour guide thing? Nah, like some YouTuber guy who just looks like he's just walking around like normally, like I would. I want to see it like that, like like on this screen right here, right? So, I definitely was checking this guy out now. So nowadays, right, what happened is that he had some problems with the government, and then he left. And so the thing is that, right, his critiques of the Chinese government, some of them, I know this is going to be very controversial amongst the people some people that I'm hanging with, but no government's perfect, right? And I think some of the things that he's saying may be true. But let's also cover, now he says right now that he is under attack from the Chinese government, which I think that allegation should be taken seriously, and I think that he should be getting help. I'm shocked that no other YouTubers, such as Jimmy Dore or Kyle Kalinske or any of the people that I ever emailed about this guy, you know what I mean, and said, look, this guy's complaining about people trying to set him up. Actually, he has videos of people like setting him up and stuff like that. So he really seems like he's really under some fire here. So whatever he's going through, like I'd like to try to help this guy out, and there's just a dead silence on all of his stuff. It's just ridiculous. So what's that about? Anyways, so some of the things that I will say that are critical of him, though, and actually this is why I like watching his material. So the thing is that back in the day there's another channel called he also has a guy called Lao Y, and he has this other thing that they do together. So he's made a lot more videos than this, but there's another thing called China Uncensored or something like that. Now, actually, yeah, this Chris Chappell guy, I don't know if people, he's been in other things, right? They use him in other stuff, like occasionally, this guy. So the thing is, right, like, I have to straight up admit, right, like, I have nothing against Falun Gong people at all. But there was definitely like a pro Falun Gong tint to the China Uncensored stuff in the beginning, not as much now. They definitely was on that Falun Gong a little bit more, and also serepentza called out, right? This is also kind of like one of the older channels that exist. He was actually attacking China Uncensored, saying they're just a branch of the Falun Gong, don't listen to them. Straight up. That's actually China's talking point, so for him to say that, right, means that he was willing to carry Chinese state messaging. But now he's like with them. So the thing is that implies that serepentza might be for sale, right? He also openly admits that he worked for some Chinese top official who was a rapist and stuff. I mean, he did leave that person, right? But it's troublesome, right? Troublesome. So anyways, serepentza though, he's like a motorcycle rider. He kind of like, he's edgy. He definitely, he's from South America. He's been around guns and stuff. I mean, he's just, he's not trying to be a hard ass, right? He has this very kind of like it's funny because from following him for so long, right? He wears this suit and he'll get like frustrated at things all the time. It's hilarious, yeah. He has a certain personality and he doesn't like being pushed and stuff. So you could see him like doing certain things. It's really hard for me to believe that he's some kind of agent, but it is somewhat believable for me to believe that he would do things for sale, or that he would, say certain things because he was pressured to do so, or because it was best for him at the time, right? Like, so the thing is that before he was willing to be an agent for the Chinese government, now I believe he's staying in the United States. Now is he an agent for the United States government, right? I understand why we might want to be in the U.S. versus South Africa, right? South Africa has kind of like a rough thing. There's a lot of, white people are actually in a weird position over there. I mean, he might just find it a lot easier to get by in the United States. He might also feel more protected here, but honestly, the things that he says about the way he's being attacked, and let's go to that stuff, right? Like, for however you feel about, like, even if you felt like he was like an agent or, a horrible guy, the attacks that he complains about are extreme. Like this scammer named Salad. Well, yeah, he also talk about the scams. That's to get his money. But there's other things that he has where he'll show like people going at him, and it might just be part of being a YouTuber. But I would understand with the content that he's making, right, why he would think that people was going at him. And either way, I think his work deserves attention. He's significant as in terms of, yeah, I would buy a chart for the Chinese serial rapist right there. You see that one, so like why was that, man? How long was that for, right? Yeah, things like this, right? So this would not necessarily, it might help his viewership, it might not. Like, you see, it's not that popular amongst his things. So that's gonna get him some viewers. That's gonna lose him some viewers. This type of video here. So, so like, do I really believe that he's straight an agent? Because nah, he'll just say what he wants. And honestly, is this a lie? Yeah, it kind of is. So when these guys are calling out this stuff, right? But okay, check this out, right? It's just propaganda, right? Like, who wouldn't want to present the best face? Like when your friends come over and you clean your house, like, it's kind of like that, right? So, but everything that they're saying that the Chinese government is doing, right, it occurs to me that the U.S. government is probably doing the same thing. Why wouldn't they use the same tools, right? And they also show, like, through their stuff, like, how different stuff gets leaked about, like, the level of Chinese control of their society and stuff like that. And, I can confirm some of these things to people that I talk to that come over from China, or people that are connected to China, because being Asian American, maybe more, maybe less. Remember I said maybe this is a myth on my part, right? But I will just go into maybe it's just my personality, but I'll just go into the Asian community and I'll ask them. I have friends that, have family back in China and shit like that, and, maybe they just talk to me more, or, or I just knew them earlier because I was Asian American, just paid attention to them more and just reached out to them just as a child or something, right? So I have people that I can talk to and verify some of this information, and some of this shit really is true. You know what I mean? The things he's talking about. So I can't say that everything he's saying is a lie. And this whole Ghost City shit, this is really, I think, something that's worth knowing about, from his perspective. Someone who was actually over there. Someone who, that means a lot to me, right? All this stuff on the media, I don't believe a thing. I don't believe that, I believe someone who see, the thing is that he doesn't reply back, but I've been watching stuff for a long time, so anybody could be fooled, but he's, I hope that he can be, nobody's talking about this guy at all, or Lawai. Actually, no, I take that back, right? The thing is that, okay, so other old school YouTubers, like there's a guy named Desolator Magic, he'll actually talk about serepentza today, like every time China comes up, right? Because that's his way. People that watch YouTube back in the day, like, if anybody was interested in China, they come up on this guy, Desolator Magic. Yo, I've been around the internet since the beginning, so I'm old. I'm in my 40s. So this guy was, when did he start? About 2006. Yeah, see, also from that same era. You know what I mean? For that same era. So exactly. Um, oldest. 15 years ago, exactly, right? Yeah, so if you were back in that era and you wanted to know what was going on in China, right, when YouTube was just first starting and nobody knew what it was, you even just watch his videos like he's doing motorcycle repair. He started like all of us. I mean, he didn't start off like trying to do propaganda, you know what I mean? He was just some dude over there working on his motorcycle, and then it became that. So, it lines up to me, right? He might be for sale though. But you know, it's another way to get a more open view into that world. I would say, you know, the things that he's saying, I would definitely take a look. Not saying that he's perfect or that, you know, it's uncompromised, but it's closer, unfortunately, to the truth than what you get on the mass media. Anyways, yeah. Once again, I feel like the key message here is just everything that he talks about that the Chinese government is doing, know that that's in play on the U.S. side. And the U.S. will definitely use these techniques, and corporations will use these techniques that they buy from consultants, right, to use on U.S. audiences, 100%. So all this kind of thing, right, if they're doing this girl in the, as an Asian American, right, how we're portrayed in the media, China's beautiful lie, what about America's beautiful lie and the complete exclusion of Asian American men from everything, entertainment-wise, right? Sports, entertainment, you know what I mean? You're just not allowed to do that, you know what I mean? Just not allowed. Yeah, hey man, I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at that. Hey man, whatever, bro. Yo, when he talks about the traders, when you look at these guys' material about the way that they're swinging for China, like, it just doesn't look good. You know what I mean? His footage here is quite compelling. So probably the U.S. has a different style that they would go about it in a way that more makes sense to you, right? When we look at the Chinese shit, it looks so ridiculous. That's another actually cool thing that kind of like I know how different the mindset can be. Like, actually, one thing is interesting is you can go and try to read some Chinese cartoons and shit, you know what I mean? Sometimes the humor, you're just like, you don't get it. It's just a straight cultural difference. You just don't understand it at all. Anyways, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching the show. I think this guy's definitely worth checking out, you know? And if anything happens to him, I hope that people really start looking into it, you know? China kidnapping Americans, yeah. There's definitely organizations running ops in different countries and stuff. Anyways, yeah. So, bam. Anything else, really? Let's see. I'm just thinking about, I've always been wanting to cover like this particular activist for a while, so if you have some activists you want me to check out, I'd be glad to check them out or talk about other activists. If you have questions, put them in the comments. And I've been following a lot of this the TYT, everybody knows about that stuff, right? Jimmy Dore, people know about that stuff. So I want to talk about these two YouTubers that I'll talk about some smaller ones too, yeah. But I'm gonna start off with the OGs and the big ones that I know, and the ones who are doing, like, you know,